Hello, and thank you for joining us for today's broadcast. This broadcast is a product of Shry Media, LLC. Unauthorized use, sale, or redistribution of this media in any form is strictly prohibited without the express written consent of Shry Media. Radio and television mediums are encouraged to reach out. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy the game.
You're ready to reconnect, to discover, to explore a Georgia that always has more stories to share and views to admire. Set for your next adventure while you set your own pace to wonder or wander, or whatever it is that makes you feel you. To feel that Georgia feeling, those beautiful, real, honest moments. The only found in Georgia moments. Find yours at exploregeorgia.org.
My character, Shazam, knows all about growing up in a family full of teenage superheroes. They're bold.
Where's everyone going?
To fight crime?
Okay.
Adventurous. Shazam! There's never a dull moment. And no matter what happens, they'll always have your back. All they need is a place to grow and be themselves. And the best part is, you don't have to be a superhero to adopt a teen. Learn more about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward.
Welcome to SESN, your ticket to the front row of the sports world, covering local, regional, and national events. We bring the game to you. Feel the excitement of every play, every score, every victory. Get your seat, get on air, and immerse yourself in the heart-pounding action. The Southeast Sports Network, where sports come to life.
At Shry Media, we believe in the power of connection, promoting your brand while supporting your community. Our goal is to elevate your presence and amplify your message through local sports. With Shry Media, advertising goes beyond traditional boundaries. Get on television, make an impact. Take the first step towards a future where your brand is not just seen, but celebrated.
history of the United States has been written for centuries. Penned by millions of authors, written in every language, from every perspective. With every chapter as unique as our people and our land. Our story is one made up of many. Find yours in the USA.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, we see champions everywhere we look. In every sport, on every court, we're building a foundation to ensure all athletes are safe, supported, and strengthened. At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, ending abuse is not just our job. It's our promise.
A truck is a tool, but a ram is life. Yeah, it's the wipe the sweat off your brow sort of life. But it's also the let's load up the ATV's life. The my kids play way too many sports life. The let's find a secret spot to fish life. That looks nice. Innovations, comforts, and powertrains built to power all the lives you live. Ram.
Welcome to the new era of brand promotion. Are you trying to find a way to make a splash? We understand that advertising isn't what it used to be. Things have changed. Advertising is both more dynamic and more engaging. Schrei Media keeps your brand not just seen, but remembered. In a world where staying relevant is key, we are your partners in staying top of mind.
Join SESN for an unmatched sports experience. Dive into the world of game highlights, real-time updates, and electrifying coverage. With SESN, you're not just watching sports, you're living them. Be the first to know, the first to see, and the first to share every big moment. The Southeast Sports Network, where sports come to life.
Your vacation is now playing in Tennessee.
For every generation, it has started with the call to serve. Discovering the purpose and the belonging earned with the title. Learning to dig deep and push through adversity together. Defending our nation and its people. It is a life of great worth and reward. But Marines are never really finished serving. Their commitment comes full circle, visible in communities across our country. This is Semper Fidelis, always faithful, always Marine, marking a path for the next generation.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear, call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
See, Smokey thinks I'm funny.
The Southeast Sports Network, your free ticket to front row sports action. From heart-pounding football showdowns to thrilling basketball games, experience every moment live, all from the comfort of your home. Your favorite athletes, broadcast in real time and on demand. It's not just streaming, it's your front row ticket to the best of Southeastern sports. And the best part? It's absolutely free. Don't miss a moment of your favorite teams. Join us now at the Southeast Sports Network. The Southeast Sports Network, your front row ticket to live sports.
I got involved in officiating volleyball 8 years after I played Division I in college.
Saying yes to volleyball officiating will give you the privilege to be a part of one of the most exciting sports around.
I'm a speaker,
a builder,
I coach,
culinary arts, auditor,
a firefighter.
For anyone contemplating becoming a volleyball official, just go for it.
Take the plunge, open the door.
Say yes to officiating. Learn more about how to get involved at sayyes2officiating.com.
The rhythmic sound of more than 500 cascading waterfalls. The endless echo of more than 10,000 caves. The serene silence of 1,000 miles of wilderness trails. The next time someone tells you to get lost, consider it an opportunity. Your vacation is now playing in Tennessee.
Hello and welcome to the campus of Reinhardt University. Thank you for being with us. College basketball from Wildfire, Georgia. I'm Gabriel Schrei, Lorenzo Robinson here alongside me. Thrilled to have you along for the ride, back in action with college hoops. The Montreat Cavaliers on the road and battling the Eagles of Reinhardt University in a late stages tilt in this season and crucial playoff position on the line for these two programs. Reinhardt University 23-1 on the season overall. They just lost last time out against the Lions of Bryan College. The Montreat Cavaliers 16-10. They've won 62% of their games. More on their records both at home and on the road in just a moment. But first, Lorenzo, your opening thoughts on this afternoon.
We're going to see if Reinhardt is going to be able to bounce back after suffering their first loss of the season. They've been playing so well, 23 wins in a row, and now they have a chance to get back right at home going up against a Montreat team that is very formidable in their own right.
Well, first let's go ahead and become acquainted with the Montreat Cavs. This season, 16-10 overall. On the road, though, they've been about 500, 6-5. They're shooting just shy of 40% from the floor and averaging 67.9 points per game. Their competition today is formidable. That's them warming up the Reinhardt University Eagles. They were seeking the perfect season until being knocked off because of the absence of a star player on the road. Maria Sanchez-Ponce out with a sprained ankle, but she'll be back in time for the playoffs. Here's a look at their opponent today, the Montreat Cavaliers. Let's get to know the Reinhardt University Eagles. 23-1 overall, undefeated at home, shooting 45% from the floor and averaging 82 points per game, which is just wild for any level of basketball. We're going to meet our star players to watch today in just a moment, but first we'll take another short break. We'll be right back with college basketball on the Southeast Sports Network. Don't go anywhere.
Join SESN for an unmatched sports experience. Dive into the world of game highlights, real-time updates, and electrifying coverage. With SESN, you're not just watching sports, you're living them. Be the first to know, the first to see, and the first to share every big moment. The Southeast Sports Network, where sports come to life.
Back in Waleska, Georgia, and now we'll meet our players to watch on the broadcast this afternoon between the Reinhardt Eagles, Montreat Cavaliers. Cavaliers are behind the graphic, but that's a look at Virginia Edmondson, one of the very best in all of college basketball. 20 points per game, 42% field goal shooting this season, 4.5 rebounds per game. She's going to be a force today for the Cavs. On the other side, the players that the Eagles are keeping an eye on, Ashley Woodruff. Woodruff has been fantastic this season, 13.5 points per game, 47% shooting from the floor, and she's chipping in about 4 rebounds per game as well.
One of the best, most versatile players in the conference, can get it done on both ends of the floor. Improved outside shooting has helped round her game out, but she gets her bread going by playing tremendous defense, turning defense into offense, and making things happen for the Eagles.
I'm excited to see what these two can do today, and obviously Reinhardt still missing Maria Sanchez-Ponce, who has been contributing 17 points per game this season in Appalachian Athletic Conference play. What do you think, what kind of impact do you think that'll have on today's game?
It'll have a tremendous impact just because you're missing a player that has been your leading scorer, one of your top rebounders, a great defender. She's been recognized as one of the better players in the conference for a reason, so it has to have an impact. But it will also give Reinhardt a chance to see what some of their other players can do, as now their roles will step up and more will be expected out of them going into the conference tournament.
And speaking of the conference, a look at the standings in the Appalachian Athletic Conference. Reinhardt number 1 at 19-1 overall. Right behind him, the Lions of Bryan College. They're 19-1 overall. Milligan 17-3. Pikeville 14-5. Followed by Johnson, Montreat, Tennessee Wesleyan, and Truett McConnell, rounding out the top 8 in the Appalachian Athletic Conference. Any thoughts on the standings entering today?
Reinhardt and Bryan, it seems like they're on a collision course going into the conference tournament to face off against each other one more time. So it will be interesting to see if either team stumbles along the way. What will they be able to do? How will they be trending going into that, what seems to be inevitable clash of the Titans?
Well, we'll take another short break and be back with more college basketball as we get underway from Waleska. Just a moment on the Southeast Sports Network. Don't go anywhere.
We going big. Throw it down. We're gonna really live. Let's go all out. Let's go all out. You know it's gonna get loud. 'Cause we getting down.
Your vacation is now playing in Tennessee.
For every generation, it has started with the call to serve. Discovering the purpose and the belonging earned with the title. Learning to dig deep and push through adversity together. Defending our nation and its people. It is a life of great worth and reward. But Marines are never really finished serving. Their commitment comes full circle, visible in communities across our country. This is Semper Fidelis, always faithful, always Marine, marking a path for the next generation.
Welcome back to Waleska, Georgia. We're getting underway on the Southeast Sports Network between the Cavaliers of Montreat and the Eagles of Reinhardt University. Gabriel Schrei here with Lorenzo Robinson. Thrilled to have you with us for college basketball on SESN. Scoreless off the tip. This one won't go. Mid-range from down by the baseline. A battle for the ball and it escapes. Good reach by Petty. She just couldn't gather it up. Thrilled to have you along for the ride with us this afternoon. The Reinhardt Eagles this season, 23-1, undefeated at home at 12-0. The Montreat Cavaliers, 16-10, on the road 6-5, about 500, but this season they've won nearly 62% of their games. Good entry pass to Townley. All seniors on the floor for Reinhardt. Entry pass to Gibson, and as the buzzer sounds, she knocks it down. 2-0 Reinhardt Eagles.
That's something to watch for as this team is playing without the services of Sanchez Ponce. Expect Tara Gibson to be a little bit more assertive, looking for her own offense, especially in the early going.
It really changes the way that this offense flows. Sanchez Ponce is such a threat down inside. It opens things up on the outside. Without her, a whole different look. Cashed in, we're tied at 2, our first tie. Gibson down to Townley along the arc. Walking it up from the corner, she hands it off on the wing. There's the pull-up from range. A little too much on it. Skiffs off the glass and boarded by Edmondson. Our player to watch for the Cavaliers. Edmondson distributes close side. Off the glass, this rattles out. A second chance. This won't go. And Lael, the sophomore from Morganton, North Carolina, gets the whistle down inside. We'll see if she can capitalize.
Match up! Know who you got? Match up!
Virginia Edmondson averaging 20 points per game, 41.3% shooting from the floor. She's going to be the key piece offensively for the Cavaliers. Their defense, the strong aspect, though, for Montreat this season. They allow just 58.8 points per game to opponents. So we'll see if they can shut down Reinhardt's explosive offense, especially without Maria Sanchez-Ponce. 3 rattles out. Reinhardt working with a second time. Petty now gets the board for Montreat. Tied at 2.
It's going to be a tough task for Reinhardt trying to find their way of scoring, their method of scoring. Again, everyone's roles will be elevated. It will be a different Reinhardt team that you see on the floor today, especially playing without arguably their best player.
Big high bounce off the heel of the iron. Kiara Simpson puts us back underway, inbounding the ball to Ivana Preston, the senior from Jonesboro, Georgia, a product of Lovejoy High School. Entry pass by Preston, and Townley receives the whistle. She'll go to the line.
So Marley Townley gets the start in place of Sanchez-Ponce. And she's been very productive in the minutes that she's gotten so far this year. She's really good defensively, a stout screen setter and rebounder.
Long inbounding feed back to Simpson. Across the floor, here's the drive. Townley finishes that off as she gets the whistle. 6:49 to play in our first. She'll go to the line for the old-fashioned 3.
And that's what she does. She's very scrappy, always first to the ball. A huge part of this team. All of the little things, the energy, the extra effort plays. That's what Marley Townley brings to the table.
Townley's shot takes a big high bounce from the line. It remains a 2-point game. Reinhardt yet to trail. They lead by 2 in the early stages. Quick response. We're tied again, now at 4.
Sanders has had some early success taking it right into the paint against Reinhardt's guards, getting around them and finishing down low.
Ashley Woodruff centered this up over to Ty Williams, the graduate student from Macon. Williams again with the ball. Entry pass to Townley is stolen. Running the floor, it's Virginia. She goes back door off the glass. This rolls and won't drop, so we remain tied for now, but the whistle going to send her to the stripe.
So an interesting note. It's always talked about how great Reinhardt is defensively. Number 1 in the conference in steals per game. Number 2 in the conference in steals per game. None other than the Montreat Lady Cavaliers. So another team that is very effective at turning the other group over. So it'll kind of be a match of wits, a battle of strength against strength. The team that makes less mistakes will be the one that comes out victorious in this one.
Our players to watch, going for steals aggressively on the floor. Virginia Edmondson has the most of anyone playing in today's game. She's a transfer from Ottawa University, Arizona, a junior, originally from Goldsboro, North Carolina, so back close to home. She has 70 steals entering today. Unreal.
Absolutely.
A
true two-way player.
Yeah, she's really unreal on both ends of the floor. And there she gets the steal, her 71st of the season. She'll stop on the arc and slow the offense. Really good patience. Montreat leading by 2, their first lead of the afternoon. 5:40 left to play in our first as the Cavaliers distribute the ball around and go for the entry pass. Here's the mid-range, and it goes off the glass. They now lead by 4.
Now, it was a nice take there by Petty going right at Marley Townley, and the nice touch down low on the shot. Cavs showing they're not afraid of the Eagles here in the early stages of this game.
The Cavs right now on a 6-0 run as Reinhardt wants to snap it but can't. The rebound kept alive by Montreat. They'll head back to the offensive end of the floor. Other players to keep an eye on stealing the basketball this afternoon. Another big contributor on that end is Katie Alexander for the Cavaliers. For Reinhardt, there's a few players with a ton of steals. Ashley Woodruff has 54 this season. Maria Sanchez-Ponce, 34. Ivana Preston, 34.
Eagles the only team in the conference with 5 players within the top 30 in steals per game. Definitely shows a point of emphasis in Coach Campbell's system, trying to turn the other team over and force mistakes.
The Cavs are on an 11-4 run. Coach is upset. Josh Thompson wants a sub, and the official didn't give it to him, and he's giving him the business.
So there have been times throughout this season where Reinhardt has had these prolonged scoring droughts. They go at times 2-3 minutes without finding much of a rhythm offensively, and usually they're able to get away with it because their defense is so strong. So Montreat has to put pressure on Reinhardt while they're still getting their way offensively, trying to find out who's going to be the one to step up. They need to take advantage of that time and score as much as they can in the early stages.
Edmondson wanted to extend the run. Right now, the Cavaliers are on a 9-0 run. Woodruff, leading scorer on the floor for Reinhardt, fouled as she knifes her way to the basket. Another look at Reinhardt's offense. Let's talk about their scoring averages this season. They've been super efficient scoring the basketball, one of the best in the nation. 1,965 points, 82 points per game. And that's been a huge factor in what's led them to be so successful, as well as Woodruff's play, a key player for the Eagles, averaging nearly 14 points per game, shooting 48% from the field. Reinhardt really good from range as a team as she gets her first at the line, shooting nearly 36% from beyond the arc, 35.5.
That's probably the biggest difference between last year's Reinhardt and this year's Reinhardt is their outside shooting, being able to shoot the ball at an effective clip, raising their three-point percentage by about 5% from 30 to around 35 has probably been the major difference in them offensively.
So Woodruff gets both at the line, and it cuts the run of the Cavs to a 9-2 run, 11-6 with 4:20 to play in our first from Waleska. College Basketball Southeast Sports Network, Gabriel Schrei, Lorenzo Robinson, thanks for being with us. Thrilled to have you along for the ride in what's been a really great game so far. Woodruff with a steal. She's all alone. Flight number 11 on a senior takeaway. Wow, kisses it in off of the glass. And that really busts up the run that the Cavs had going.
That's what she does, able to turn defense into quick offense. Ashley Woodruff back at it again for the Eagles.
The Cavs do still have a 5-point advantage over the last few minutes. On a 9-4 run, the layup and the foul means she'll go to the stripe and Edmondson can extend that run back up and keep it alive.
Playing defense without fouling has to be something that Coach Campbell really emphasized with his team over the course of the few days since their loss against Bryan. Bryan shot 20 free throws to just 8 for the Eagles in that matchup in a game that Bryan won by 7 points.
Edmondson gets both at the line. She's 69 for 93 at the stripe this season. That's 75%. It's off the mark, gathered up. Edmondson, another steal for the Cavaliers. Virginia looking both ways, heavily defended, trying to shake Nia Moon, the true freshman. Close side around Kraft, back to Edmondson. Moon playing shutdown defense. Edmondson drives from the straightaway, stops on the elbow, back out to the wing. Cavaliers rotating and creating some space. 4 on the shot clock and a steal by Reinhardt. That's a player who's coming into form. Sonia Martinez, the product of Lauda Spain, gets the steal. Woodruff can't finish it off. Ball's loose and Edmondson gets the board. 5-point game in Waleska, 2:40 to play in our first. Cavaliers going inside, and the whistle as Kiara Simpson comes out of traffic with the ball. Simpson's been really good, product of North Gwinnett High in Sewanee, Georgia. 7 points per game, 3 rebounds per game, usually gets an assist or 2. 75 rebounds this season for her, 170 points scored for the Eagles.
She's another player, very versatile. That's a theme up and down their roster, players that can play both inside and out. Simpson can masquerade down low as a big. She can also step behind the line and shoot the 3 ball and switch out defensively against guards as well.
So the Cavs keep that run going. Now 15-8, they're on a 13-4 run over the last few minutes of play. 2:33 left to go in our first. Reinhardt's Woodruff. Oh, down low, Martinez off the entry pass and the foul.
Offensively, talk about Ashley Woodruff. You spoke a little bit about her earlier. What makes her so dangerous is she is very dynamic with the ball in her hands, not just as a scorer, but as a facilitator. Right there, showing some of that off with a nice pass leading to a foul.
Martinez first rolls over the iron and in, rustling the twine. Martinez has really come into form. This is her 18th game she's played in this season. Just averaging a few points per game, but she's definitely been much more productive down the stretch. And that's going to be 2 at the line for Reinhardt, cutting it back to a 5-point game. She's going to be a really good product. Just a sophomore, lots of time for her to develop and grow into this program and offense.
With her gaining confidence, it seems, with every game, that's just another dimension that Coach Campbell has to his ball club.
Here come the Eagles. They trail by 7. Entry pass to Julia Kraft, the senior. Kraft outside to Tara Gibson, the graduate student from Macon. To Moon. Moon way beyond the arc, floats it close side to Preston. She's a very efficient 3-shooter. Walking it up from the front court. She turns and goes back to the wing. Kraft is trying to buy some space, and there's the whistle.
Montreat putting a lot of pressure on the ball against Reinhardt's ball handlers, not allowing them to get behind them, keeping them in front of them, and that's so crucial going up against this Eagle team. They have a lot of players who are great at putting pressure at the rim, using their dribble to make plays.
Gibson tried it off the glass, a lot of contact. Martinez holding the side of her face. She took a shot. 95 seconds left to play in the first. Over the last 2 minutes, a 6-2 run for the Cavs comes to an end as Martinez scores her 3rd point in the last 2 minutes. Tallest player on the roster, 6'2", native of Cordoba, Spain. She's only been playing about 10 minutes per game. I'm sure we'll see her get a lot more time next year. Cavaliers back to the offensive end of the floor. They lead by 5, 1:20 left to play in the first from Waleska. Heavily defended by Moon. Way back on the front court near the Reinhardt logo. She drives down into the low paint, trying to feed this. Floated to the corner. Cavaliers have some space. 2 on the shot clock. Edmondson sidesteps, and that's a shot clock violation.
That was a textbook defensive possession by Reinhardt. Tremendous defense on the ball. Great ball denial in the post from Gibson and Martinez. Just an all-around tremendous possession. And we'll see if they're going to be able to keep that momentum going here on the offensive end. It's been a bit sloppy on this end at times to start this game.
Under 1 to play in our first period in a 5-point game. Reinhardt looking to dig back a few points. Kraft is in trouble, and now she travels, turning it over to the Cavaliers.
That's a direct reflection of the type of defense that Montreat has been playing, right? They've been very good on the ball. They're being aggressive, really putting a lot of pressure on Reinhardt's ball handlers and making life miserable for them so far.
Edmondson across the floor. Ronaldo didn't keep it for long. think we're going to go it trying to beat out Moon. 30 seconds left to play in the first as Edmondson gets the whistle. This goes back to Reinhardt's Eagles. Reinhardt's defense, one of the best in the country, one of the best in the Appalachian Athletic Conference, limiting opponents to just 60.1 points per game on average. They also were really good at rebounding, 39.8 rebounds per game. Sanchez Ponce, however, leads the efforts on the glass, 8 rebounds per game. And that's a key point, a key stat that they were very well aware of up in Dayton, Tennessee when they took on Bryan College's Lions, losing their first game of the season. Prior to that, Reinhardt University undefeated in all contests.
But I mean, just even more added context to that game against Bryan.
Oh, the three ball goes for Julia Kraft, and she comes up waving her finger saying, ring it up. Kraft, the senior from Canton, gets the three. Just a second left, and Montreat will let it go and send us to our second period of play on the Southeast Sports Network. After one, a 2-point game thanks to the deep ball by Julia Kraft. We'll take a break and be back with more college hoops in just a moment on the Southeast Sports Network. Don't go anywhere.
At Schrei Media, we believe in the power of connection, promoting your brand while supporting your community. Our goal is to elevate your presence and amplify your message through local sports. With Schrei Media, advertising goes beyond traditional boundaries. Get on television, make an impact. Take the first step towards a future where your brand is not just seen, but celebrated.
Welcome back to Waleska, Georgia. There's a look at the Cavaliers of Montreat. 16-10, shooting nearly 40% from the floor this season. And a quick look at the Reinhardt University Eagles before we get back underway. After one period, 2-point game, 17-15. Reinhardt goes on a 5-0 run to end the first period of play. Really important points. Julia Kraft hit that three. That's going to change the face of this game going into the second quarter.
It's huge being able to go down by just one possession instead of two. Just mentally for your team, just lets you know that you're still in it, still in the fight, and you need that, especially coming after a tough loss.
Let's take a quick look, too, if we can sneak it in, at the conference standings. This is the Appalachian Athletic Conference. As you can see, Reinhardt and Bryan are on top, and I'll break down the situation on those two teams and the extra game they might have to play to decide a regular season conference champion. It's going to get messy.
It's going to get very messy, and they played a game earlier this year here at the Brown Athletics Center, and Bryan hung in there with Reinhardt. They only won that game by about 5 points. Bryan returning the favor at home. Things should get very interesting if they have to match up again, but of course the caveat in their last matchup, no Sanchez Ponce for the Eagles.
Down inside, Cavaliers in trouble, ball's loose, Tara Gibson coming away with it. Here comes Reinhardt's Eagles. Williams hands it off to Gibson. Fighting her way down inside. This rattles and goes. What a response by Reinhardt and an open to the second period. We're tied again at 17.
You can just feel a difference in the energy that this team has come out with in the second quarter. Even though things are just getting started, you just have the feeling that Reinhardt is prepping to go on one of their trademarked runs here in the second period.
Just 1 minute off the clock. We're tied. Montreat coming close side. There's the pull-up from the elbow. Can't knock it down. Reinhardt, 70 seconds into the period in a tie game. This is Tara Gibson. Moon drove inside, then floated it to Preston. She's heavily defended as she takes the shot, gets it, and one. She'll go to the line.
And again, the Eagles turning defense into offense once again, being able to get the steal, and Ivana Preston with a nice finish down low and the foul.
That's already our second lead change as Reinhardt gets back in the driver's seat by 2. A chance to make it 3 on this trip to the line for Ivana Preston. Preston, the product of Lovejoy High School and senior, gets it to go. It's now 20-17 Reinhardt Eagles.
It just feels like if this game begins to speed up, if it turns into a track meet, then that has to play in the Reinhardt's favor. They're very good at games like that, by evidenced by the amount of points that they've scored and the amount of steals that they've forced so far this season.
Gibson got the rebound. Reinhardt's Ty Williams runs the spin move in the paint, floater to the corner. This is a three, and she knocks it down. The money ball in Molesca, Georgia, makes it a 6-point game with just a couple to play. What a three ball.
And the game is just completely flipped on its head here in the second quarter, and it's done so because Reinhardt is playing at the pace that they want to play. They're speeding things up, playing great defense, getting out, running their offense with good rhythm, good pace, and putting a lot of pressure on Montreat. When they're able to get out and run in the open floor and make plays, there are not many teams in the country that can stick with them.
So Reinhardt ended that first period on a 5-0 run. Now they've extended it even further. And depending on how you want to break it up, if you want to say it's one big run, well, that's really impressive, right? Because then it becomes a 13-0 run. If you want to just go by period, 5-0 and then 8-0. But right now, an 8-0 run to start this second period, 13-0 run over the last 4 minutes of play.
That's a heck of a response from this team. Again, coming off of a tough loss against a team in Bryan that is receiving votes in the top 25, but definitely a playoff caliber team that they just lost to. But to be able to come back from that, start slow in this one, and respond the way that they have in this second quarter is a direct reflection of this program and where they're headed.
Ball's loose, and two players scrambling on the hardwood, trying to come up with it. And the foul goes against Ashley Woodruff.
But if I'm Coach Campbell, that's a foul that I can live with, right? That's diving for a loose ball, trying to make a play, trying to get the ball back for your team. And again, the energy has completely picked up for Reinhardt on both ends of the floor.
Graham inbounds. Loose ball for a moment. Cavaliers keep it. Shoveled to the corner and a Barry Graham. Graham, junior from Seymour, Tennessee. Reinhardt gets the takeaway. They lead by 6, 7:25 to play in our first. Eagles work this all around. Julia Kraft to the elbow. She kicks it close side to Preston. Back to Juju, directing the floor. And the travel, this goes back to the Cavaliers.
Reinhardt has struggled a little bit scoring against Montreat's set defense when they're not able to hustle down the floor and run their offense with pace. Things haven't gone especially well for this team. But also the Cavs are having trouble scoring against Reinhardt defensively as well.
Cavaliers working it around. There's the pull-up from range. She gets it to go. What a jumper for Virginia Edmondson. And this is why she averages 20 per game. Unlimited range. That kills the 13-0 run of the Eagles. Good bucket, though, in response.
You can't get to 20 points per game by a mistake. That's not something that happens on accident. It has to happen because you consistently put in work on the offensive end. So that shot from Virginia Edmondson may seem like a surprise to some, but if you've been following her this year, you know that she is capable of pulling off moves just like that.
And that's her 88th field goal this season from three-point range as she knifes her way inside, and she gets the rebound on her own miss. Edmondson from range, 41%. This time it's off the mark for Graham, who's 30% from beyond the arc. Entry pass to Kraft. She puts it in with a little kiss off the glass. Juju Kraft, the senior out of Creekview High School. She's been so good all year long, averaging 10 points per game, and you can see why she's been so successful on plays like that. A great entry pass, and the response immediately by the true freshman from Gastonia, North Carolina, out of Ashbrook. Madison Cole puts it in off the glass. Another key contributor for Montreat. That's a newcomer, true freshman. We'll keep it here for this break. That's a look at the Cavaliers on their bench. And on the other side, the Reinhardt University Eagles. So quickly, while we have time, your thoughts on what you've seen so far?
What's been so different for Reinhardt in this quarter is just their pace, the tempo that they're playing with. It seemed like the game was turning into a slugfest, a slog in that first quarter. It was so slow. Reinhardt couldn't get anything going offensively. And then on the other end, Montreat was waiting until the wee minutes of the shot clock in order to take their shots. And that's the pace that you need to be able to play to beat them. Again, when it turns into an up and down game, there aren't many teams in the country as good as Reinhardt at that style.
Quick look at our players to watch. First was Edmondson. This is Ashley Woodruff. Woodruff, the Eagles' star player in today's game. Edmondson, the star player for the Cavaliers of Montreat. And they've just been electric this season. Already lighting it up today, Virginia Edmondson hit a deep three just moments ago. Kraft tries it off the glass, and her shot goes wide, but there's a foul down inside. Teams evened up on scoring over the last couple of minutes. Reinhardt went on a 13-0 run over the course of 4.5 minutes to force her second lead, change the night. We've already been tied 3 times just halfway through the second. Moving it around, and trouble on the edge of the paint, and she smiled immediately. She knew she was caught.
She knew what she did, and the whole gym knew what she did, too. It seemed like the ref was just a little bit slow in reacting, but another great defensive possession by the Eagles.
Tara Gibson with aggression goes inside. It's off the mark and boarded by Ronaldo. True freshman from Charlotte, North Carolina, out of Lincoln Charter School. Interestingly enough, we've already seen 3 true freshmen on the floor this afternoon for Montreat. They have 4 true freshmen on their roster. That's not a ton, but it's a lot to see them contributing so early in a game like this.
That's big when you talk about projecting the future for a team, when you have so many young contributors getting key minutes, especially in late season matchups against teams like Reinhardt. If they can hang with them, then you have to like what they're going to be able to do as the years go on.
That's another true freshman right there. Southern Durham High School, Amaya Sanders. She gets hit with a whistle, though, but a nice play otherwise as she's able to create some space and get inside.
She was, but again, a different Reinhardt in this second quarter. You see there Terry Gibson sliding over to draw the charge.
Reinhardt Eagles, Ty Williams looking for the entry pass, gives it off to Townley. And the steal by Ramaya Sanders. She's all alone and puts it in off the glass to get 2 back. Cavaliers making a 3-point game in Waleska, Georgia with 4 minutes, 5 seconds to play in our second quarter on the Southeast Sports Network.
Sanders and Edmondson doing a lot of the heavy lifting on both ends of the floor right now for the Cavs. They need one more player to step up if they're going to be able to put even more pressure on Reinhardt.
In some trouble. This one goes. A little kiss off the glass. Extends the lead of the Eagles back to 5. It's 29-24.
So I spoke about this in the first quarter. Expect a more aggressive Tara Gibson, looking for her own shot more without Sanchez Ponce. Someone has to pick up that slack when you're losing out on 16 points a game. And Gibson is very capable of stepping up for this team.
Sent far side from the back door. This goes. Madison Cole coasts her way to the basket and drops in 2 to make it a 3-point game. Kraft from just inside the line gives it off to Ty Williams. Looking for the entry pass and not liking the pressure on her. Gibson wants to go back outside. The handoff to Williams, who tries it from mid-range and gets it to go.
Ty Williams is very fearless offensively. Another capable scorer for this team. Usually comes off the bench. Today she started. She can shoot it from range right there with the little mid-range pull-up.
Williams has averaged really well this season, 7.5 points per game, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Great contributor for Reinhardt's Eagles. Townley off of the floor, Martinez on. Julia Kraft off, Preston on. So the 5 on the floor for Reinhardt. Williams, Woodruff, Preston, Gibson, and Martinez. Right now, the true freshman with the ball for the Cavaliers. Edmondson from the elbow, hands it off over to Cole. Floated across to Graham. She drives her way inside and the block. To round out the 5 on the floor, it's Sanders and Petty. Close side for 3. This goes, rustling the twine and finding the bottom of the basket. The graduate student from Flowery Branch, Ashley Woodruff, our player to watch.
She's starting to heat up. That's her second 3 of the quarter, making her presence felt on the offensive side of the ball.
Reinhardt on a 5-0 run. Amaya Sanders loses this, taken inside by Gibson. Reinhardt Eagles back to Tara. She's running the floor, wants Preston in the corner. Back up top, Ty Williams. Entry pass to Preston, one-on-one chance, and she puts a little too much sauce on it. Nia Moon on the floor, Williams to the bench for a break. 8-point game in Waleska, Georgia between the Cavaliers of Montreat College and the Eagles of Reinhardt University. Big thanks to everyone carrying the game today and everyone tuned in. Thank you for being with us. Thanks to all of our partners for carrying the game. Virginia Edmondson's 3 is short. LJ Telephone Company carrying the game here in Cherokee County for folks to watch locally. Find it right on cable television. Big thanks to the Midwest Sports Network and, of course, Reinhardt University's athletics team for carrying the game on their YouTube channel and letting us be a part of it. Nia Moon knifes her way inside and puts it in with a little kiss off the glass. So Reinhardt extends their lead to 10 points, 26-36, and their run goes even further. The true freshman Sanders floated this down to the corner. The shot is off the mark, and Martinez the easy board. Woodruff on the fast break, backdoor to Gibson, fighting her way down inside, and she's the benefactor of the whistle.
That's an unfortunate whistle there. Calling in, it seems, on the little shuffle that Gibson did down low. That was a phenomenal pass again by Ashley Woodruff, fitting that into a tight window.
20 seconds to play in our first period from Waleska, Georgia.
But this end of the floor has sparked the change for Reinhardt in the second quarter. They're playing defense with a level of passion and a level of appropriate desperation, I would say, that you need to be able to win games late in the season.
Woodruff far side, 2 seconds on the clock. Moon gets it to go. We've reached the half as Moon makes it a 12-point game, 38-26 in Waleska. What a way to end the first half of play. Does that mean anything going to the locker room after a half of any sport, but specifically basketball, obviously? Do you get some momentum off that?
Momentum is everything. Momentum is everything, especially in basketball, just because of the change that it does to your mental and your psyche. You talk about when it was 17-12 and Julia Kraft hit that big 3 to end the first quarter, and you feel like Reinhardt was able to just use that to carry them going into the second as well. And right now they're up 12 and hoping to make it even larger as we move into the second half.
There you have it, 12-point game. Second half is coming on the Southeast Sports Network. 38-26, Reinhardt Eagles. Don't go anywhere.
You're ready to reconnect, to discover, to explore a Georgia that always has more stories to share and views to admire. Set for your next adventure while you set your own pace to wonder or wander, or whatever it is that makes you feel you. To feel that Georgia feeling, those beautiful, real, honest moments. The only found in Georgia moments. Find yours at exploregeorgia.org.
My character, Shazam, knows all about growing up in a family full of teenage superheroes. They're bold.
Where's everyone going?
To fight crime?
Okay. Adventurous. Shazam! There's never a dull moment. And no matter what happens, they'll always have your back. All they need is a place to grow and be themselves. And the best part is, you don't have to be a superhero to adopt a teen. Learn more about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward.
Welcome to SESN, your ticket to the front row of the sports world, covering local, regional, and national events. We bring the game to you. Feel the excitement of every play, every score, every victory. Get your seat, get on air, and immerse yourself in the heart-pounding action. The Southeast Sports Network, where sports come to life.
At Schrei Media, we believe in the power of connection, promoting your brand while supporting your community. Our goal is to elevate your presence and amplify your message through local sports. With Schrei Media, advertising goes beyond traditional boundaries. Get on television, make an impact. Take the first step towards a future where your brand is not just seen, but celebrated.
Your vacation is now playing in Tennessee.
The Southeast Sports Network, your free ticket to front row sports action. From heart-pounding football showdowns to thrilling basketball games, experience every moment live, all from the comfort of your home. Your favorite athletes, broadcast in real time and on demand. It's not just streaming, it's your front row ticket to the best of Southeastern sports. And the best part? It's absolutely free. Don't miss a moment of your favorite teams. Join us now at the Southeast Sports Network. The Southeast Sports Network, your front row ticket to live sports.
For every generation, it has started with the call to serve. Discovering the purpose and the belonging earned with the title. Learning to dig deep and push through adversity together. Defending our nation and its people. It is a life of great worth and reward. But Marines are never really finished serving. Their commitment comes full circle, visible in communities across our country. This is Semper Fidelis, always faithful, always Marine, marking a path for the next generation.
Welcome back to Waleska, Georgia. College basketball on the Southeast Sports Network. Here courtside At the half, 38-26, a 12-point game. Reinhardt in the driver's seat over the Cavaliers. Gabriel Schrei here with Lorenzo Robinson. And Lorenzo, your thoughts on that first half?
It's a tale of two different quarters so far. We saw Reinhardt come out a little bit sloppy offensively, turning the ball all over. Their guards weren't able to create any dribble penetration. Montreat was doing a great job defensively of making it difficult on them. On the other end, Montreat was slowing the game down, playing at the pace that they wanted to, and getting shots, it seemed like, at will. And then a switch flipped in the second quarter. Reinhardt started to play harder defensively. They were able to turn that defense into quick offense, which is crucial, especially for this team that has moments of offensive lapses and long scoring droughts. To be able to create easy buckets using your defense to get out in transition, that's huge for them. And they outscored Montreat 23-9 in that second quarter, completely changing the game. And our player to watch for the Eagles, Ashley Woodruff, a big reason why Reinhardt's in the lead right now. Woodruff, 12 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds. She's getting it done on both ends of the floor for the Eagles, and she's made a few highlight reel plays along the way.
Tell me about Virginia Edmondson this afternoon, her success. You know, she hit that three. She's been such a key contributor all season long.
She's had her moments. She's definitely had her moments as a scorer. She has 7 points. She's hit a 3, 2 of 5 from the field. She's had her moments where we've seen just why she's as highly touted as she is and why she's been a consistent 20-point-per-game contributor for the Cavs this season. But a lot of credit, again, has to go to the Eagles, especially in that second quarter with the way that they've defended her. They're staying in front of her, moving their feet, switching off. The bigs are doing a nice job of hedging, not allowing her to get free lanes to the rim. It has just been a nice defensive game for the Eagles, and they've done a good job slowing down what has been one of the better scorers in the NAI so far.
So a little bit of housekeeping for us here. First, a quick note, shout out to the women's lacrosse team of Reinhardt University. They just upset the number 2 team in the country, knocking off the Kaiser Seahawks. Big win for them. I was told it was a 1-goal win, but I haven't seen that, so I can't verify it. 10-9 is the scoreline I was told. But I'm confident they won. Big-time win. Other games going on in the Appalachian Athletic Conference right now. Bryan leads at the half, 47-20. And Tennessee Wesleyan, who's the last game on the schedule for the Eagles of Reinhardt, leads entering the second half by 8, 40-32. Bryan is crushing it, so it doesn't look like they're going to lose. And there's going to be an extra game, and I'm going to try to dissect that. I have it written out a little bit in an email, and I'm going to try to parse through it, so you'll have to bear with me because it's not written out all nice, and I'm going to be interpreting it, you know, as I explain what's going on. But that's a look at our standings of the conference.
I can try to give it to some of the folks in the meantime in layman's terms. These two teams have been clearly the class of the conference so far this year. And the 2 games that they played against each other were instant classics on both sides. Teams splitting a pair of games, each winning on their home floor. If there is a third matchup, it will be one of the most talked about games in the country, and a big-time game that will determine some standing for the national playoffs as well.
Yeah, and you basically have to win the regular season championship or the conference tournament to get that bid and get into the national playoff. Quick rebound for the Cavaliers. Here's a chance for them to cut this score off the mark. Woodruff, potentially a fast break, but she'll hit the brakes. Reinhardt, a 12-point lead at the half, fueled by a couple of runs. The Cavaliers got the first run of the night, jumped out to an early lead on a 9-2 run in the opening minutes of the first period. Gibson down inside, has it stolen in the paint by the true freshman. One pass now to Ramaya Sanders, backdoor. This is blocked by Gibson.
She has been a different player again, going from that second quarter to now. Defensively, her effort level has completely changed the game for the Eagles in a positive way.
It was a 12-point game at the half. It's a 12-point game now. 38-26. Cavaliers went on that early run in the first minutes of the first period. Reinhardt went on a 13-0 run over the course of about 6 minutes between the first and second period. Then right before the half, the Eagles went on a 13-6 run that gave them this lead. The floater for Sanders, it's off the mark. A putback won't go. Townley gets the board and able to fight through traffic. I really like Marley Townley's play style down inside, a senior from Dawsonville, Georgia, out of Dawson County High. Really great contributor, fun to watch her play.
And the word, gritty, very gritty, always willing to get dirty and do the dirty work for Reinhardt. You need players like that, especially if you're trying to be a national championship contender.
Lale got the board, still scoreless in the second half, 2 minutes gone in period 3. So much housekeeping to do. We're going to get back to this situation underway between Reinhardt and Bryan, and a situation it is. These teams both deserve to make the national playoff, but only 64 teams can make the field, and so to get that at-large bid would be not just a rarity, but big-time stuff for the AAC.
Both teams have been consistent throughout the year, so you have to figure that whoever comes out on the wrong side of their duel to win the Appalachian Athletic Conference crown should be in the mix to receive an at-large bid. But again, it's at-large for a reason. There are no guarantees when you stack up these resumes.
From the wing, draining it, it's Ashley Woodruff. The money ball from long range for the graduate student from Flowery Branch. That's our first bucket of the second half with 3 minutes gone. Reinhardt's Eagles a 3-0 run, or you could date it back to that second period and say they're on a 16-6 run. Here's the pull-up in response. Virginia's shot wide left. Well, Lorenzo, I'm gonna give this my best shot. And we're gonna break down the playoff situation between Bryan's Lions and Reinhardt's Eagles.
Let's do it.
Gibson, the entry pass. This one off the mark, clattered off the heel of the iron. Back to the offensive end go the Cavaliers. This is from the sports information director at Reinhardt University, David Finney. So I know it's accurate. It's one of the best around, one of the best I've ever worked with. This playoff scenario for the Lions and the Eagles, they're going to have a final deciding game at a neutral location to decide the regular season champ for the Appalachian Athletic Conference. So whoever loses that game has to win the tournament just to make it to the playoffs. So they give at-large bids, but the Appalachian Athletic Conference rarely gets them. It's always the regular season champ and the conference champ that do make it. So if that team is both, then they go to the tournament, and the second place team from the tournament will get to go. So what that means is if Reinhardt wins the neutral site game and they win the tournament, whoever comes in second in the AAC tournament will get the bid to the NAIA National Playoff, whether that's could be Montreat, could be the Bryan Lions, could be anybody in the conference, right? So that's kind of the situation. That was easier to explain than I thought.
But the point of it is that whoever comes out on the wrong side of that game puts so much pressure on themselves to be able to compete and be able to play well during that week-long tournament. And it's a situation that a lot of other teams are going to feel like that's their chance to get into the tournament as well. Even a team that may not have been playing well throughout the season, now all of that is gone. None of it means anything. You have just this week to be able to prove yourself and get a chance to compete for a national title.
Woodruff cuts to the basket and extends the lead of the Reinhardt Eagles. So far, Reinhardt is on a 5-1 run to open the second half. 5:40 to play in the third. Katie Alexander, the true freshman, looking for an entry pass, in danger. Ronaldo being harassed in the corner. Back and forth they go with the orange. Walks it up to the wing. There's an entry pass to Cole. Now the turnaround, and the three-ball goes for the Cavaliers.
A much-needed bucket for Montreat. They were reeling offensively, not able to get anything going. They're hoping that that can spark a bit of a run for them. But Reinhardt also gaining some steam on the offensive side of the ball as well.
Believe it or not, Katie Alexander, the true freshman that just hit that, so she's taken almost 100 shots this year from the floor. She's taken almost 50 of them from three-point range. She's actually more accurate from long range than inside the arc, which is crazy to me.
It is crazy, but sometimes it's just a comfort thing. You're more comfortable shooting those shots. You feel like you work on those shots, and those are the ones that you hit most of the time in the game.
She's going to be really, really fun to watch in a couple of years for the Cavaliers. A true freshman out of Asheville Christian Academy, Fairview, North Carolina. a great talent on the come-up for Montreat. Virginia Edmondson will go to the bench and take a break. Coming in her stead is Graham, junior from Seymour, Tennessee. Ty Williams, the graduate from Macon, Georgia, dips the ball off close side to Gibson. Simpson wants to drive down inside, kicked it to the corner, and this one going back the other way for the Cavs.
So now no Virginia Edmondson on the floor for Montreat. Expect Rymaya Sanders to try to push things herself and force the issue to get this team back in the game.
Nothing doing there. Gibson runs the spin outside and stolen away by Rymaya Sanders. She takes it the length of the floor and now packed by Woodruff. The true freshman Madison Cole goes down hard.
What you see there, Sanders getting end to end in the blink of an eye, just so fast with the ball in her hands, beating everyone down the floor. She had some success in the early stages of the game, getting downhill, finding open lanes, putting pressure on Reinhardt defensively.
13-point game, 4:02 to play in our third. Short.
Madison Cole has played some good minutes for Montreat. Came into this game, though, being one of the better rebounders in the conference, averaging around 6 rebounds a game. Right now, she is without a rebound, and we have just under 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Something to watch for this team as this game goes on.
Eagles dicing it up. Keeping the ball outside to Kraft from the straightaway, 1 and 3, and as the shot clock expires, can't knock it down.
Katie Alexander took on the challenge of guarding Woodruff one-on-one and forced the Eagles to force up a tough one.
2-on-2 chance for Reinhardt. Kraft wants to go the distance, and she does, wrestling the twine for 45.
Defense in the offense doesn't just happen off of turnovers. It also happens off of missed shots, especially when you have guards that are capable of changing in so fast. And the Eagles have a plethora of those, and Julia Kraft is one of them.
Great response right away by Rymaya Sanders out of Southern Durham. .245 to go in the third. Whoa, the long two ball goes for Nia Moon, true freshman from Alberton, Georgia.
She's had her moments where she's seen like one of the best players on the floor. Right there, knocking down the jumper. Not short on confidence, and that's huge for a young player trying to make her way in the NAIA. So you never want to see injuries, right? You never want to see players go down, and we all hope that Maria Sanchez-Ponce is going to be able to return to Reinhardt and return to their lineup and play the way that she has played throughout this year. But the good thing about it, or at least the silver lining in that, is the fact that it forces other players to step up for this team, and it will be able to build confidence for them in the long run. As good as Sanchez-Ponce is, no team has ever won a national championship on the back of one player. It's a total team effort. It's multiple people able to contribute and do their thing when their number is called. So being able to have players like Sonia Martinez, like Kiera Simpson, Ty Williams, Nia Moon, players like that that are forced to play even more of a role offensively, giving them a chance to do this in live action against solid teams late in the season will do wonders for Reinhardt as this year goes forward.
2 minutes left to play in the third. The second is short for Moon. 47-32 Reinhardt Eagles. Last time out for Reinhardt, they dropped their only game of the season. Their one loss, they're 23-1 to the Bryan Lions, 75-62. Free ball for Katie Alexander. Martinez gets the board. Martinez is such a stark visual on the floor. She's so much taller than everybody else.
She has the one thing that you can't teach in basketball, which is size.
That goes, a quick response. 49-32, Reinhardt Eagles. Reinhardt on another run. So far outscoring Montreat 11-6 in this second half.
Defense, let's go, D-up!
1:27 left to play in the third. We'll have both games today, so be sure to stay tuned to the Southeast Sports Network. Find us at SESNsports.com, at SESN Sports on YouTube. Tune in on LJ Telephone Company's ETC Now. Find us on the Reinhardt YouTube channel. We'll have game 2. What a cleanup by Williams down inside. That one came off the side of the iron. She just grabbed it up, gobbled that, took it to the basket. Reinhardt outscoring the Cavs 13-6 in the second half. Montreat's mid-range jumper clatters out. Nia Moon, the true freshman from Comprehensive High. Simpson across to Martinez, back to Moon. Entry pass to Julia Kraft. And if she had gotten that across quicker, Simpson would have been wide open. Looking to go back out to Kraft. Now she's going to cut it inside with a sidestep, and that goes silky smooth, 53-32.
Silky smooth is correct. Julia Kraft with the little Euro step in the paint to create space and finish.
To the corner. Here's the pull-up for the Cavaliers, and a bit too much on that as it skips off the front of the iron and continues to roll off the backside. Timeout on the floor for our change of period. We're going to the fourth. We'll take a break with these two programs and be back with the final quarter of play in Waleska, Georgia between the Cavaliers and the Eagles. Reinhardt leads 53-32 after 3.
Join SESN for an unmatched sports experience. Dive into the world of game highlights, real-time updates, and electrifying coverage. With SESN, you're not just watching sports, you're living them. Be the first to know, the first to see, and the first to share every big moment. The Southeast Sports Network, where sports come to life.
So let me see if I can... Welcome back to Reinhardt University inside of Ken Brown Athletic Center. One period left to play between the Reinhardt University Eagles and the Cavaliers of Montreat College. Avery will try here alongside Lorenzo Robinson for the final period of what's been a really fun one. Two really good Appalachian Athletic Conference programs wrapping up a great day of basketball.
So that call there on Marley Townley, one that the Reinhardt faithful definitely disagreeing with. Virginia Edmondson trying to shake off a little bit of a cold streak that she's been on. Reinhardt has made it so difficult for her.
Tony Campbell says, I disagree with the call. And a flashback to our first period. Coach was not happy with a call. We got that one on air, I think, so good laugh for everybody on the floor.
It's a classic moment right there.
That's
you got to
good.
save that one.
It's a fun one. Woodruff tries it off the glass, can't get it. Nice board by Ronaldo. Ronaldo's another great size player. Back out to the straightaway, and Cole, who battles her way inside and tries it. She gets it to go. 36 points now for the Cavaliers. They trail by quite a wide margin, 53-36 the score in Waleska with 1 gone in our final period. That one takes a big high bounce. Reinhardt keeps it alive. Tara Gibson wants 3. Another big high bounce. Now it's Preston with a rebound. This one escapes back up the floor. Battle for the ball. Graham and Preston chasing this down. Two really good coaches on the floor today. Tony Campbell, the bench boss for Reinhardt University. Josh Thompson for the Montreat Cavaliers. Tony Campbell steps in. This is his first year at the head of this program. What a bright future this guy has coaching college basketball. This is unreal.
Absolutely. You can't ask for a much better first year for this team, and especially what they went through last year, being so good to start the year and then tailing off. You see the way that Reinhardt has played so far this year, 23-1. You have to feel confident about the trajectory of this program under Coach Campbell. And if Montreat's going to come back into this ball game, Virginia Edmondson has to be at the helm of that. She needs to get going. But again, easier said than done, because whether it's Ty Williams, Ivana Preston, or Ashley Woodruff, she has just not found much daylight.
Edmondson has been unreal this year. 500 points scored, 20 per game, 36% from beyond the arc. Great at the line, 116 rebounds, 70 steals. She got her 71st in the first period. Just a really good basketball player. Graham across, trying to manufacture some space. This is Virginia Edmondson, who gets it from the straightaway as the buzzer goes. Is that what they need?
That's absolutely what they need. They need a lot more of that. Great defense by Ivana Preston, but just better offense there from Virginia Edmondson.
7:45 to play from Brown Athletic Center in Waleska, Georgia. College basketball, SESN. Reinhardt Eagles in the lead by 14. Woodruff cuts inside, floated it to the corner, ball's loose. Edmondson picks it up off the hardwood. The Ottawa University transfer way up the floor, gets hooked up. Now from inside, the floater rustles the twine.
Montreat going on a run here, and now a 9-0 advantage in the fourth quarter. They're trying to make a game out of it.
Preston close side to Kraft. Gibson with a pump, steps both ways. Kraft turnaround, this one is off the mark. Williams back outside, and right away the shot clock violation. Kraft had space to take the three, but couldn't get it off before they signaled for that shot clock violation.
Wait a minute, it was 3 seconds. Ball out. Like she can take a shot. It wasn't 3 seconds.
Not happy about the call.
She got the rebound.
Coach is letting the officiating crew hear it.
It seems there may be some confusion with the shot clock after that last possession.
Definitely some confusion.
Okay, you can't be like, oh, it would have been 3. It was at 16. It was at 3. He reset it. It was at 16. That's 4. Shot clock violation. So it was at 3. It was at 3. We ran 4 seconds out of the shot clock. He reset it. It was 16. So that was 4 seconds. All right, here we go.
I don't feel like anyone's going to convince each other in this one.
Both sides are going to feel like they're right.
Yeah, I know.
If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. The ref is always right. As much as you want to argue with him and plead your case, more likely than not, they're going to stick with what they call. Montreat getting another stop. They've been playing better offensively. Virginia Edmondson starting to heat up. Can they get themselves back into this ball game?
What is he supposed to do?
Foul down inside.
Coach Campbell just made a great point. On that drive, Virginia Edmondson taking it straight into the chest of Ivana Preston. Preston kept her hands straight up, didn't bring them down. And after the foul was called, he said, what else is she supposed to do? And as a defender, if you can't hold your hands up and avoid getting a foul called on you, it really makes you wonder how you're supposed to consistently guard a player as aggressive as Edmondson.
Reinhardt University head football coach James Miller in the gym. Now he's escaped. I just saw him a minute ago walking around. He looks like he can throw some pads on and block someone still.
I mean, sometimes, you know, you play around with him and he'll playfully pat you on the back, and let's just say it feels every bit of a D1 football player punch.
Still got it.
A little bit. He'll tell you that he does, but some may beg the difference.
Thanks for tuning in. Southeast Sports Network College Basketball from Waleska, Georgia. Reinhardt University, Montreat College, Cavaliers, Eagles. This one's still a really good game. 6:44 left to play. 12 points separate these two. 53-41. Reinhardt Eagles lead. Quick look at the Cavs. 6-5 on the road. 16 wins this year. They average 70 per game, so they're closing in on that mark down the stretch here. Reinhardt's Eagles 23-1, just one loss. It was last time out for them against the Lions of Bryan College. 45% from the floor. They average 82 per game. Virginia at the line. Looking to cut it down to 10.
So as great as Reinhardt has played against Edmondson throughout this game, she has been able to get to the line to manufacture production. Right now down by 11. She's going to have to remain aggressive if they're going to be able to win this ball game. Every time down, expect number 4 in blue to touch the ball.
Kraft from the corner gets it to go, wrestling the twine with a 3-ball for 56 points.
Julia Kraft hit that big 3 in the first quarter to be able to give Reinhardt momentum, and now a big 3 to stop the momentum of the Cavs.
Scramble for the ball, swatted at. Ty Williams comes up with it for Reinhardt. Eagles on the fast break. Williams looking both ways, goes out to Preston, who shovels it close side to Gibson. Gibson wants to take it down low. 2 quick passes, and Williams has to step back. Woodruff across to Williams. This one for 3, a big high bounce off the mark.
And Ty Williams got a good look from downtown, was not able to get it to go. Now Ramaya Sanders is coming back in. Another big piece of the puzzle for this team. She was so great getting downhill earlier in the game. Another offensive threat that the Eagles have to worry about. Hopefully, Cavs fans are hoping that she could take some of the pressure off of Edmondson. But again, a 20-point-per-game score. Expect number 4 to touch it every time down, unless Sanders does it herself.
True freshman easily takes that inside. Cuts into the margin just a bit. 56-44, 5.5 left to play. Simpson outside. Reinhardt's Eagles off to Preston. She's been a great 3-point shooter this year, but effective inside as well. Gibson rebounds it, keeps it moving for the Eagles, and puts it back off the glass. 14-point game, 5 left to play. So far in this final period, 8 points scored by the Cavaliers, 5 by the Reinhardt Eagles. This one goes for the Cavs. They keep their run going.
Madison Cole's made a few nice moves down low, finishing inside.
And a quick response says this rattles around before dropping for Ashley Woodruff. $14-point game, 14-point game. It feels like the margin just won't change no matter what the Cavs do.
When the game is back and forth like this, the tie always goes to the runner, or in this case, the team that's out in front.
This one's loose. Simpson chasing it down, and it escapes over the baseline. We've seen 2 lead changes tonight, 3 ties, but it's been a long time, ever since the first half. It's remained a Reinhardt University Eagle lead. Cavs would love to change that late, but they trail by 14. The Eagles have the ball and just over 4 minutes left to play in Waleska. Woodruff feeds this to the corner, and the 3 goes. Simpson knocks it down, 63-46.
That's her first 3 of this game, but she is a player that is very capable of knocking them down from beyond the arc. Extremely comfortable shooting them from out there.
And outside, Virginia moving with the ball. Edmondson close side. There's the freshman Sanders, wanted to deliver that into the twine. The rebound down low by Cole, but she's fouled.
If you want to know why Reinhardt is so good defensively, game plan discipline. Virginia Edmondson tried to attack off the dribble, tried to drive to the basket. Ivana Preston was doing a nice job staying in front of her. And Kiera Simpson with a quick stunt to force Edmondson to pick the ball up and make a pass. That's game plan discipline, knowing your personnel, knowing who your opponent is, not allowing Edmondson to get downhill and forcing someone else to beat you.
Madison Cole can't get that to go. Second one off the mark as well as Gibson gobbles it up. Reinhardt Eagles, Woodruff spinning inside for 65. She gets it to go.
She's gotten it done scoring in a variety of ways from beyond the arc and right there getting downhill.
Ram across, Edmondson, the pull-up from the straightaway, that's automatic. 49 points now for the Cavaliers as they trail by 16.
Players that talented and that effective, you can't really stop them. You can only hope to contain them and limit their effectiveness. Reinhardt's done that with Edmondson so far in this one.
That one goes from range. 65-49, the lead with the Eagles of Reinhardt University. We're into the final moments in Waleska, Georgia. What do you do if you're in this situation, if you're Montreat? What kinds of words of wisdom do you share on the bench if you're coach?
We're going to have to start playing more desperate, and that means speeding our game up on both ends. Going to have to trap, going to have to force Reinhardt into some tough situations, force turnovers. Again, a team second in steals per game, so they're very capable of turning the other team over. Then on the other end, getting the ball to number 4, Virginia Edmondson, and number 12, Ramaya Sanders, as much as possible and allowing them to go to work, as they've done a lion's share of the scoring.
Gibson inbounds to Woodruff. She'll run the floor. Less than 3 to play from Brown Athletics Center. Reinhardt seeking their 24th win of the year. Montreat working to avoid the 3-game skid. Lost last time out to Milligan, 84-64, and before that to the Lions of Bryan by just 4, 73-69. Entry pass is stolen awkwardly by Vinaya Petty. All the way inside, and that goes coasting down into the paint. Ramaya Sanders, another one. And the true freshman has just been electric this afternoon.
She has, being able to drive straight into the teeth of the defense. And she has finished in a variety of ways as well. A few floaters, a few nice layups off the glass.
This one rattles off. Cavaliers back up the floor. 14 points separate these two with 2 minutes left to play, so it's just about all but said and done in Waleska, Georgia, between the Reinhardt Eagles and the Cavaliers. Reinhardt looking like they're going to wrap up their 24th win of the season. Cavaliers looking like they'll drop their third in a row and fall to 16-11. Taking a look at what's next to Reinhardt University. They travel on the 24th to Tennessee Wesleyan. Their final regular season conference game, they might have to have a tiebreaker game with Bryan College's Lions, which would be at a neutral site, maybe at Tennessee Wesleyan. It could be at Johnson University. A lot of speculation left to do there. And for the Montreat Cavaliers, they have to play at Johnson on Wednesday the 21st. That'll be their final regular season game. Then the tournament gets started on Wednesday the 28th in Kingsport, Tennessee, and it runs through Saturday, March 2nd. The tournament's always so fun at Kingsport. Really great facility, really great setting. Folks from all over the nation travel up to the middle of Tennessee to see that one. It's going to be a really great showdown this year. So many great teams in the field. Reinhardt University, their only loss of the season last time out. Before that, they were on an unreal best-in-the-nation 23-game win streak. In the latest NAIA poll, number 21 in the nation, 201 points in voting. Bryan College's Lions also receiving votes, so both of them on the cusp there. Bryan obviously hoping to end up in the top 25 to end the regular season. Long ball up the floor for 67. This goes for Townley. Less than 1 to play in our final quarter from Waleska, Georgia. 67-52 Reinhardt Eagles. This one goes 54 points now for the Cavaliers.
Even as the game is winding down, Ramiah Sanders is remaining aggressive, getting into the paint and finishing. And it's been a nice game for her. 6 of 12 from the field, now 7 of 13, 16 points.
Well, Reinhardt capitalized on the fact that their game plan was going to be different today. They still cleaned up really well on the boards, and their shooting percentage from the floor was unreal. It seemed like they couldn't miss.
Something still to watch for Reinhardt going forward. And you would hate to nitpick, right? Especially after a game like this, being able to come from behind and finish with what is going to be a double-digit victory, defending without fouling. Bryan shot 20 free throws in their game last time out, went 15 of 20 in a game that was just decided by 7 points. Tonight, Montreat, 21 free throw attempts. Now, Montreat went 12 of 21 from the line in this game, but those are the kind of things that really come back to bite you when you play against better teams. But outside of that, a nice showing for Reinhardt, especially our player to watch, number 11, Ashley Woodruff.
Woodruff comes off the floor. A special shout out as you hear the applause to the seniors on this Reinhardt University Eagle roster. From Jonesboro, Georgia, Vanna Preston. From Canton, Georgia, Julia Kraft. From Flowery Branch, Georgia, Ashley Woodruff. From Dawsonville, Georgia, Marley Townley. From Rome, Georgia, Tara Gibson. And from Macon, Georgia, graduate student Ty Williams. All seniors, all playing their final game at home in the regular season for Reinhardt University's Eagles. Congratulations to them on a wonderful career playing for our youth.
We've been through a lot of different things, coaching changes, a few different regimes, a few different systems, different styles of play. But a nice way to go out here at the Brown Athletic Center, finishing it off with a victory.
First rattles and won't go for Vanaya. Junior from Shelby, North Carolina. 18.2 seconds left to play. 69-54, Reinhardt Eagles lead. That rattles and won't drop either. Martinez pulls up as Simpson gets the ball. And a quick change coming for the Eagles. Tria Blaylock, true freshman from Tiger, onto the floor as Preston heads to the bench. Tria across to Simpson, less than 10 to go. And this one just going to wrap up. Well, there you have it. 69-54, the final score from Waleska, Georgia. Reinhardt's Eagles win their final home game of the season, and what a victory it was for Reinhardt, Lorenzo.
It was. And things seemed a little dire in that first quarter, especially when Montreat went up 15-8. Reinhardt able to regroup, find themselves, went on that 23-9 run in the second quarter, and they were able to finish with a nice victory late in the season against a quality opponent in Montreat.
Yeah, the run's really the story of today's game, and it seemed like everything went so well for the Reinhardt Eagles. At times, it felt like Montreat was going to be able to get back into this one, but couldn't quite pull it off. What are your final thoughts on today's game, and what should fans carry into the end of this season and headed into the Appalachian Athletic Conference tournament for these two programs?
Again, we all want to see Maria Sanchez-Ponce back out there on the floor and to be another key contributor for this team. But if you're watching in these moments without her on the floor, you're going to be able to see that Reinhardt is more than just one player. They have more players capable of picking up the slack. And then when Sanchez-Ponce returns, she'll return to a team with more than enough players that are going to be able to help her in their quest to win a national championship.
Fantastic. Well, thanks so much for being with me. As always, Lorenzo, I'd like to invite everyone to tune in for Game 2 of a doubleheader. We'll have the men's game as well on the Southeast Sports Network, and that'll be on the same platform or app where you're viewing this game. For the Eagles, for the Cavaliers, Lorenzo Robinson, our entire crew, I'm Gabriel Schrei, saying so long from Molesca, Georgia, with the final score in Eagle victory, 69-54. This has been college basketball. All games and events airing on our networks are broadcast live and our copyright material. Today's game will be archived inside of the Apper platform where you viewed it and available for replay. This has been a presentation of the Southeast Sports Network.
Join SESN for an unmatched sports experience. Dive into the world of game highlights, real-time updates, and electrifying coverage. With SESN, you're not just watching sports, you're living them. Be the first to know, the first to see, and the first to share every big moment. The Southeast Sports Network, where sports come to life.
My character, Shazam, knows all about growing up in a family full of teenage superheroes. They're bold.
Where's everyone going?
To fight crime? Okay.
Adventurous. Shazam! There's never a dull moment. And no matter what happens, they'll always have your back. All they need is a place to grow and be themselves. And the best part is, you don't have to be a superhero to adopt a teen. Learn more about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward.
Your vacation is now playing in Tennessee.
Welcome to SESN, your ticket to the front row of the sports world, covering local, regional, and national events. We bring the game to you. Feel the excitement of every play, every score, every victory. Get your seat, get on air, and immerse yourself in the heart-pounding action. The Southeast Sports Network, where sports come to life.
At Schrei Media, we believe in the power of connection, promoting your brand while supporting your community. Our goal is to elevate your presence and amplify your message through local sports. With Schrei Media, advertising goes beyond traditional boundaries. Get on television, make an impact. Take the first step towards a future where your brand is not just seen, but celebrated.
You're ready to reconnect, to discover, to explore a Georgia that always has more stories to share and views to admire. Set for your next adventure while you set your own pace to wonder or wander, or whatever it is that makes you feel you. To feel that Georgia feeling, those beautiful, real, honest moments. The only found in Georgia moments. Find yours at exploregeorgia.org.
The Southeast Sports Network, your free ticket to front row sports action. From heart-pounding football showdowns to thrilling basketball games, experience every moment live, all from the comfort of your home. Your favorite athletes, broadcast in real time and on demand. It's not just streaming, it's your front row ticket to the best of Southeastern sports. And the best part? It's absolutely free. Don't miss a moment of your favorite teams. Join us now at the Southeast Sports Network. The Southeast Sports Network, your front row ticket to live sports.
Hello, and thank you for joining us for today's broadcast. This broadcast is a product of Schrei Media, LLC. Unauthorized use, sale, or redistribution of this media in any form is strictly prohibited without the express written consent of Shry Media. Radio and television mediums are encouraged to reach out. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy the game.